Happy good day. This is Brianne Howard of Zenful Mindings showing up today to talk to you about showing up for yourself and what that means. So I want to first start out by saying that I hesitated to talk about this week because while I was thinking about it, I actually saw messages from other sources that I watch and other people that I interact with about this very same / similar topic. And I was like, oh, I don't want to just be this repetitive broken record. But then I thought to myself, isn't that part of showing up, is really doing what you feel called to do? And this is something I felt called to talk about because it's something that I know I struggle with off the mat, that I try to put a lot of work into, and it can be really hard to give yourself permission to do this. So showing up for ourselves doesn't mean indulging every single whim, right? It's not about letting everything else that you have to do fly off into the sunset while you magically ride your horse along this epic cliff ledge, which would be awesome, but it's not practical usually. We see this often manifest in the showing up for a physical yoga practice on those days or in those moments where you don't feel necessarily like rolling out your mat and doing physical movements. You feel more like staying in bed or vegging on the couch watching some telly. But if you show up, if you say, you know what, I'm still gonna do this, even though I don't feel completely like it, but you show up, you do it anyway. At the end, after you're done with whatever it is for that particular practice, you usually feel better because it was giving yourself the medicine, right? It wasn't sort of succumbing to the easy, the routine. It was challenging, it was nourishing, right? And that nourishing is a key factor here. And that's what makes this much different than pushing through to check stuff off of your to-do list. So showing up is definitely not about task checking off, right? This is about doing something that feeds you so that you can in turn turn around and have a better quality of life off of the mat. So this also happens in our lives, showing up for ourselves in ways that are things that don't necessarily make sense in our busy work schedules, our busy life schedules. So it might be giving yourself permission in the morning to sit down with a delicious hot cup of coffee and watching the sunrise. It might be blocking out time to work on a project that you're passionate about. It might be taking the time to just sit and watch the beautiful color of the trees right now, because in spring, this is the only time of year that they're that shade of green as the new growth comes in. That's it. And when that's over, it's gone. So show up, give yourself that permission to take in the beauty in whatever form nourishes you. I personally struggle a lot with trying to be on the move all the time, and I think that we often, or that many of us, struggle with that same thing. But giving ourselves permission to slow down, do any of the things that are our own definition of showing up for ourselves, is this beautiful process that strengthens us from the inside out. All too often, we tend to look at these external sources for validation, whether it's the to-do list or people telling you, good job, you did that awesome. And those are great. But if inside, if we kind of still feel hungry, like we're not getting that soul food that we need from ourselves, our interactions with other people and the quality of our work and our lives are going to feel a little bit diminished, right? For me, I've made a lot of changes over the past 6 or so months in my work and in my life schedule so that I can show up better for myself first and foremost. And that in turn has allowed me to show up better for other people, particularly for my youngest daughter, as an example. Creating more flexibility in my schedule has allowed me to slow down, have more patience, to make the first thing we do in the morning play rather than like hurry, hurry, hurry to get us out the door to do something. So we literally, when she wakes up, the first thing or one of the first things we do is we sit and we play whatever it is that she chooses to play that morning. And it sets this incredible tone for our whole day. And I'm only able to do that without worrying about all of the things that we have to get done that day, because I am investing time in showing up for myself. For me, that looks like doing a yoga practice of some sort and meditating in the morning. And for you, that might look like doing something completely different. So what is that for you? What is going to feed you so that you can show it better for yourself and then mirror that out into your life, really shine it bright to improve those interactions and the quality of what you're living right now. So today, this is my gentle nudge to show up for yourself and try different things to figure out what that means for you, and give yourself permission to do it. It's good and it's beautiful for this larger vision of life that we want to live. And it really turns that surviving into thriving. So I hope you have a beautiful day. Enjoy yourself, whatever you give yourself permission to do, and have a beautiful weekend.